Oda has done it again. I gotta give him 2 claps. Because we have multiple creatures in this chapter that are referenced towards, let's just say, Norse mythology. So here we go, and I'm a bit happy that I'm about to discuss this too. So, One Piece chapter 1142, titled The Things I Find Scary. Let's go ahead and jump into this chapter because I want to get to those Norse mythology creatures that I'm talking about. So, it starts off where the last chapter obviously left off. And it's, well, some unknown creatures are starting to attack the students basically, and all the teachers are trying to figure out what's going on. At the same time as that, they're trying to beat back these monsters or creatures per se that was trying to kidnap or injure the kids, right? So a lot of the kids are saying there's a huge snake in the schoolyard. It's Jormungandr. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. The world serpent that'll end the week. And if you don't know what I think I saying that yet. Jormungandr is, and it's the world. It's the world basically. In layman's sense, the world snake basically. Oh my goodness! I'll get to more at the end of this chapter too. So now, one is say end of the week, Saturday, and one of them said it's going to eat us. Everyone, get to the school. And meanwhile, back at the school in the staff room, you got one of the teachers coming in and be like, "Oh, what the hell is going on? Where are the students? Everyone's panicking." And the mathematics teacher said, Mr. Beard says, "I hope we can get everyone out." And then you got the principal and basically Ange there too, which is a language arts teacher, plus the librarian added to that title. And the school principal, Mr. Kaiba, says, "Let's call the Chiefs before anything else goes AWire," basically. And Ange is like, "Well, but in the meantime, the kids are basically getting attacked. We are basically understaffed." And the Yamagar is about to, well, basically attack one of the kids, well, one of the students. But Warless comes out of nowhere and pushes this thing back, knocks it back with his hammer, basically. And you got guys saying, or not saying, but he uses his hammer, uppercuts him with the hammer, and says exorcisation, which I love this. The kanji is demonic purification, but it is a play on final exam. And Warris, the principal, decks this thing to the ground, basically, and with his arm in the hockey, by the way, because he not arm in the hockey, but it was Warris and a combination of Saw. So they put this thing back in the ground. Not entirely put this thing back in the ground, because this thing gets back up. So and now you got the principal, Warless, or not Warless, Kiba. Why I say Warless? The principal Kiba and Mr. Saw basically helping out, but they can't do it alone though. So you got the rest of the straw hats, not rest of them, but what's left, or which one went or where. So you got Robin and Chopper with Saul. Don't know how much good they are. And basically the whole entire school gets in panic. And goes back to the school interior, and you just see the PE teacher. They got all kinds of. So where's the economics teacher, the history teacher, the government teacher? We need those two, Oda. But you got the PE teacher, Mr. Wolf, getting super injured, and one of them says, "What happened?" And he basically tells Saul, one of the kids, they're fine, but they're sleepwalking outside. They're going somewhere, which I don't know where they're going. And Mr. Wolf says, the children, don't touch them. And one of the kids, well, not kids, but kids, students says, "Mr. Saul, we got a problem here." One of the students, or the rest of the people, are sleepwalking. basically. So we don't know where they're going, and they're not waking up too. And if you don't know, there's an arrow making them go to that direction, basically, and an arrow. So Gonko don't know if that's significant to that arrow. Probably is using her devil fruit to point the kids into any direction where they're going, basically. So wherever that arrow goes, that's where they're going, right? And then Saul tells Kiba that, hey, isn't that overkill? Something's off. And Kiba tells Saul to look at the forest. Something's wrong, look at the forest. And they see a giant bird and it looks like a wolf. Huge, by the way, or appearing out the forest, and huge. And they're huge. And Robin and Chopper is like, what the hell is that? More monsters. Where did they come from? No one could call it overkill after seeing this. And somebody called Saul, and one of them says, the kids are passing out. What is happening? Everyone wake up. And after all this is transpired at the school where most of the Straw Hats are, and Saul and basically the whole faculty are at, teachers by the way, you cut over to the realm of the dead. Few things happening here. So last chapter, Loki got not broken out, but either Zoro or Luffy, mostly Zoro, really, because he's the last person that had the key, unlocked his chains. Loki picked up, I don't know why I thought it was a sword, but it was more like a hammer. He picked up his hammer, right? So, and Loki says this: if you care about keeping Elbao safe, remove the last shackle. Rest assured, even in my current state, I'm far from helpless. And Haruden says, Loki, how about we calm down here? And you got Luffy saying, you? And then Sanji said, what's his deal? And Loki proceeds to say, I'd hurry if I were you. If I strike, the flames will rage. You know about Elbaf's greatest weakness, right? Which, if you don't know, Elbaf's greatest weakness is fire. After what Ripley told Frankie about one of the tree trunks, of how one of the villages was destroyed, and the only way to stop the flames was to cut the branch off the tree. Look at what happened. Yeah, aftermath. And then Loki raises his hammer and takes that full ass swing and strikes the trunk of the tree and says, I will wipe you all out. And Harujin says in the loud voice, stop it! And Loki strikes the trunk of the Atom Tree, and all you see, it looks like lightning. You see lightning. It looks like a massive lightning strike, and you have everybody just like seeing that and was like, "What the hell was that?" And big flames burst out of nowhere wherever that lightning struck and hits the forest. And every one of them says, "What was that lightning?" And one of them told Elder Gerard, a fire has broken out in the south. I heard a horn blare too. This is bad. Put it out immediately, one of them said. Now, after that little debacle that Loki did, which we're not done with him, cuts back to the warrior school. Back to the school. And one of them said, Mr. Saul, principal, all these monsters recognize him. Are you serious, Ange? Alright, so we're about to get Ange is about to reveal what's up with these monsters. And she recognizes them. She says, well, it was just earlier today. And she basically breaks down what's going on. It's Loki. He can use his hammer to destroy the world. Nuh-uh. The one who's going to do that, and you got all these all the children basically drawing whatever frightening them the most, basically. And one of them draw Nika. One of them said, hey, look at mine. So one was Nika. Another one was Fenrir. Another one was Garmander. And the other one was Draugr and Neohager, basically. And I think one of them says a storm. No, it's Ghost. And Anj realizes his ghost silence. Like, oh shit, this ain't good. So after that brief flashback, after she explained what happened earlier, she says all the beasts are the things the kids fear the most. And he was like, oh shit, well, that's not good. And what happened? What did happen? Well, we got this big picture right here that Oda prepared for us. So yeah, all the kids that drew the worst nightmares, oh, they came to life, baby. This is their nightmare world. And yeah, you just got the three of them, Kiba, the principal, and Ange just looking at this scene. This like, what the hell is this? Now you cut back to the four Gods Knights, and you got what's his name, Quildribble, whatever his name was. You got him falling asleep. Or does it look like he's falling asleep? It's his Devil Fruit ability, I'm pretty sure. And he says, "All right, that should do it." Yo, good work, Quillingam. And he says, "I'll let it up once those runts reach the ship. And do you think they'll be able to get them back?" And Saint Summers is like, "Well, to love is to inevitably hurt one another. Ain't that right, Gonko? What scares you the most?" And Gonko's sitting there quiet. And she says, "Nika." Elbath and Tormal, 1142. And so, boy, Niflheim, not Niflheim, some of these, not Greek gods, Norse mythology creatures that one of the kids brought up, mind the thunder and rain that's going in the background, by the way. So, there you go. Anyways, you got several of the kids saying a lot of stuff, right? Their worst fears, basically. One of them says ghosts, which we saw the ghost. We saw a storm, and then we saw mom. One of them says their own mother, and some other stuff came up too. But the two most ones that came up was Neil Harger and Dromagar, and I said two. I meant to say three, and Draugr, which I had to do my research on that one. We already know about Yarmagander, which let's search that up real quick. Because if you don't know about Yarmagander, you should know. But Nilharg is basically a warm dragon who gnaws at the roots of the world tree, basically. So there you go. That's one we figured it out. But Nilharg is basically often referred to as a dragon that resides at the bottom of Yggdrasil. Coiled around the tree's gigantic roots, they're a representation of the realm's chaos and evil. And I'll put that right there too. And then you got Yamagar, I think it's Yamagar, I'm trying to think. And then you got Yamagar, which we all should know what this thing is. This thing's massive. And he is the Midgard serpent, also the world serpent, or the all devouring of the plant of the world. And he is the son of the god Loki and the gigantic another one, Boa, and brother of the great wolf Fenrir and Hel, queen of the dead, basically. And that's right there. So we got two creatures that's probably going to be dangerous in this chapter or next chapter. Though I'm curious if they're going to live up to those, if Oda's going to go the route with the mythology and be like, oh, we got these two gigantic creatures that's going to be dangerous, more like it, right? So, another thing I would say too is that we now see what one of the God's Knights abilities, Delphi abilities are. So, Quillingham maybe has a Delphi ability, probably, who basically has an ability that I don't know how it functions, but I'm pretty sure whenever he goes to sleep, he creates his world, basically. And wherever is in that world, he can just bring them back into reality, right? And I might do like a side chapter, basically. Or do another video on this. But it's kind of interesting that some of these And some of these are, he even, one of the kids fears Nika basically, and they brought him into the fold. So my thing, or is Nika basically same thing like Luffy, or is he powerful, right? Or does he got, I don't know, right? But if you like this chapter, this video, like, subscribe, share, and push that notifications too after you subscribe, and comment down below if you think that we're gonna have some more Norse mythology in here that Oda probably gonna put in here, because I want some more in here, right? And see you again, and see you next adventure. Laters.